Right. My name is Dr. Chigozie Judo, Senior Lecturer, Department of Tourism Studies, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Subscribe, like, and share if you like what we're doing. We're discussing tourism on this page, so today's discussion is going to be on ecotourism. You know, because of the effect of mass tourism, abuse of the environment, effect of over-exceeding the carrying capacity of the destinations. So some scholars felt it's necessary for us to be conscious about the environment. So ecotourism is more of ecological tourism, trying to use the environment in a way that the present generation can benefit and future generation will equally benefit from it. In the sense that you try to make use of natural resources in the environment for tourism purposes, but to sustainable level. You don't jeopardize the interest of future because of the present use. And basically, relying on the environment comprises of the lakes, the seas, the ocean, the flora, the fauna. So you realize that some states decide to gazette what they have, so leading to what we call national parks, leading to what we call game reserves. Now, in these national parks and game reserves, for instance, you have flora of different species of tree you can see there. Some of the trees are so useful that scientific experiments are carried out in some of the species that are there. Because this environment are gazetted and conserved, people don't log there. In as much as non-timber forest resources can be annexed by the local communities. Yeah, there's bound to be clash between local community and tourism conserved areas, but this is not a discussion for today. In one of the videos we will surely discuss about conflict that are happening in ecotourism environments or destinations, but that's not our discussion. Our emphasis there is trying to say that these ecotourism resources like the forests, the animals, the fauna, you see the exotic animals, which are being attacked by our people at the same time, because people don't really know the tourism value of these animals, like killing of lions, killing of elephants for their tours, trying to hunt these exotic animals for their hints and all whatnot. Yeah, people do these things to harm the ecotourism resources. We'll discuss that later. But we're trying to say, what value do we attach to these things? Scientific value, educational value, aesthetic value, even utilitarian value of these ecotourism resources, because when you conserve these things, their value to the ecosystem will remain there. There won't be alteration in food chain. There won't be alteration in the system. It can equally serve as a buffer zone for carbon sinks, because when you have ecotourism destinations or zones like where you conserve trees and all whatnot that absorb carbon from the system, it helps in carbon sequestration, whereby carbons are absorbed from the system. Now, when we log these trees, we are polluting the system, we are triggering more of climate change. Now, you realize that ecotourism helps us to conserve the system. When you come down to aquatic organisms, some stuff like crocodiles, people harness crocodiles for the hints to do bags and shoes. But at the same time, people travel all the way to come and see crocodiles in your destination. Killing those things will not solve your problem. It can feed you now, but sustainability, it will not be there. But tourism can feed you now, feed you tomorrow, and feed it for the next generation if you preserve these things. So we need to make a case for judicious use of Earth's resources. That's what leads to ecotourism. In as much as ecotourism is having some issues in developing nations, because people that are grappling with poverty, hunger, and anger, you can't tell them to conserve the nearby resources they can annex to feed. How do you marry or juxtapose these two things? I am hungry. I go there, kill an elephant, cut off the tusk, sell them, make money. And you're telling me to conserve it for tourism purposes. But I think if tourism professionals like us come out to tell people, conserve this, they are alternative means of survival. Develop a skill. Leave this thing for yourself, for your children, and for your children's children. So that people can always come here, pay to come into the park, pay to buy your craft, give you a token for your services. Are you not benefiting more things than selling one-off tusk to yourself? Given this background, you realize that there's need for judicious use of ecotourism resources. We need to stop polluting of our environment, pollution of lakes, acidification of lakes, trying to make use of every resources that are tourism oriented in a way that it will be beneficial to all and sundry. Ecotourism can help us, ecotourism can save us, ecotourism can be used to curtail climate change. What is your view about ecotourism? Thank you.